Okay, so the
Jorja,
I was just saying, yeah.
Repeat the question. Repeat the question for the
Forgive me.
podcast. Thank you.
I want to apply. Yeah, I'm like, it's like you'll be tested on this at the end of the evening. My inner, instructor comes out. The question really is, you want to help people. How do you sort of pierce the veil of secrecy? And I'll sort of elaborate. Sort of the in-group. Gangs have in-groups. We all have in-groups. We all have secret handshakes. We all have secret codes. My husband, who's now retired, when he was still working with the LAPD, I would always say, they're just a gang with uniforms. So in this case, how do we pierce the veil? So I'm going to mix it up here, and I'll answer first, and then I'll pass it over to Wilfredo, instead of always forcing him to answer first. My reaction is you don't. You don't. We have secrets. We have lives. We have things that we keep inside of ourselves. You don't need to pierce the veil. You need to present an alternative. So that those secrets, those rituals, that life doesn't have as much meaning as the alternative. Because if we work too hard, people are always saying to me, well, did you find out what all the signs mean? No. To this day, if someone throws a gang sign, I can't always tell what it means. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Do I know what they mean emotionally when they mad dog somebody? Yes. Do I know how to break through that when I'm talking to them? Absolutely. Do I know what secrets to stay away from? You better believe it. And I think privacy is important. I think everyone deserves their privacy. Perhaps this group more so than others. And so piercing the veil, figuring it out, knowing what a gang sign means, not as important. What's important is, what's the alternative you can point to, and also, what are the secrets that they really have in their lives that they need to tell you? I can tell you this. I don't know about gang signs, but there are people who have confided in me when they killed someone. And I know about this. And they've talked to me about it. And that's what I'm sort of more interested in relating to than what are the secrets of their particular neighborhood and what's gone on within, the Grape Street Crips or the Bounty Hunter Bloods or whatever group you're talking about. So I kind of leave it alone.
Can you translate the question? If I get what you're saying is you're trying to, how do you get past like all the secrecy and the codes and the whole like these people don't talk to them, it's what's going on, right? And I think Jorja hit it right on the money, because as soon as you approach either a gang member or an ex-gang member or somebody who's affiliated, and you start asking those questions, and the questions like, hey, so is it true that, or when somebody does this, do they? When you start doing that, a homie, a gang member, ex-gang member will automatically put a wall up and say, okay, I know what you're here for. You just want to get these quote-unquote answers about this. And most of the time it's news reporters or they want articles and want to write good articles or books or I just got this. It happened to me when I was a little kid and I didn't even know it was happening. And next you know, there's an article in some newspaper and I was like, oh, well, I didn't mean to say none of that. So automatically they'll shut down and put a wall. But like Jorja Leap said, it's important because I think that's not as important as what's really inside, that's a secret inside the person. Because every gang member that's joined a gang didn't join a gang because they were hopeful to become the best gang member in the world. No, they became gang members because they had something broken inside. So I think that's the secret you want to get to. And a successful homie that makes it out of a gang and actually stays out of the gang is that homie that went into and worked on that secret and said, this is my secret, this is the trauma, this is the abuse, this is what I didn't want to talk about. And some will come and say, hey, Jorja, my mom abused the shit out of me when I was 5, and that shit really bothers me, and I wanted to tell you that. Compared to the homie going to his homie like, hey, Spider, my mom used to abuse me when I was a kid. They don't care because they have their own little secret. And throughout life, you go to prison, more secrets come in. You go to the streets, more secrets come in. You become a drug addict, more secrets come in. You do things you're not proud of. So I think those are the ones you want what was that? Puncture through the veil. I kind of get it, you know. So it's like those are the ones you want to puncture through and get to.